Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. It is the first week in November here in Southwest Florida, and it is 88 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 31 degrees Celsius, and there is not much wind today. It's humid, it's just cooking, but my orchids love it, so I guess I like it too. What I wanted to do today was just share with you some of my haul of orchids from Palmer Orchids. Normally when I go out to a lot of the orchid growers, I don't buy a whole lot, but they had so many nice plants. They were so generous with their advice and kind of letting me know and answering questions that I had on what they're looking for in their hybrids in the future. And the other thing is that I was on a mission, so I knew in a general sense what kind of orchids I was looking for and what I wanted to be using in my crosses, and they complemented what I was thinking going in there and expanded a little bit. So as a result of that, I had a little bit of a haul. The other nice thing about this is that I brought some things up for them, and they were interested in some of the things that I had. I was interested in many of the things that they had, and it was, as a result of that, I had quite a haul. And the haul is outside of what you can see. It's all down here. But I picked up close to 20 orchids, mostly Cattleyas, but a broad range of other things as well. And what I want to do is, and only one of them is flowering, so what I'm going to have to do is, as I show you these orchids, I will grab some web images from their website and put them on the screen so you can see what they look like. Because some of these things I don't remember, to be honest, what some of these things look like, because I did get a few of them. The general advice that I got from them is they were looking for orchids that were going to be blooming multiple times a year, that would carry a larger number of flowers per spike. They were interested in the yellows and the oranges and some striking variation or contrast in the colors, like the lip versus the petals and things like that. Shapes of the orchid were important. Long flower life, as you imagine, is important. Fragrance is important for me, so I was able to pick up a lot of species that will carry, hopefully, some of the fragrance within their crosses, within the crosses that I make. So the other thing that I have is that because Propagator Junior came with me and we went shopping for this stuff together, and she gets as excited as I do about these orchids. So some of these guys we have duplicates of, because I'm going to grow some here in Southwest Florida, and she's going to take some home with her and grow the duplicate plant in the Midwest. And actually, one of the plants we got home, and it's like, oh my gosh, we got 3 of them. Must have been one that we were pretty excited about. We've got a couple of 3-inch pots and then a 4-inch pot of the same hybrid. And I think that one, and we'll start off with that. These are seedlings. So this is, and I think this is the right one, yeah. So this is RLC Yuko Ito VQ, which is, I assume, Volcano Queen, and that's Tutankhamun Pop times RLC Misty Queen. And we saw these, we actually saw one, a few of these were flowering. This as I remember, this has some really nice flower color. It has some nice fragrance. There's a range of colors, because this is, these are, I think it's from a wide cross, and so you have a range of colors that you get from this. And so we saw a really nice one that had a lot of reds in it, but a lot of them, I think, and possibly the image that I'm going to present to you is going to have a little bit more kind of a mixture of oranges and reds in there. So we have 3 of this cross. The plants themselves, I'm going to show you the one in the 4-inch pot. The plants themselves look really good. I showed you this before, but nice root growth at the base of the plant. I hope you can see it. And it's just these are just really high quality plants. So that's the first one that I have in the haul. And what I'm going to show you are the ones that we got duplicates of. This next one is Yam Redland Sunset. And again, I'm sorry, I don't remember what these things look like, to be honest. Actually, this one might be the one that has I got a lot of things that had oranges and reds, or oranges and yellow mixed in. This might be the one that have it, but I'll put the image up on the screen. But very vigorous plant, and I want to show you these now because these are in small pots, and what I'm probably going to be doing today and tomorrow is repotting these and putting these in somewhat bigger pots. Some of them I don't have to do that with, and some of them I do. So again, Yam Redland Sunset. But all these plants are just they're really vigorous and they're really nice. Okay, and then we have the last duplicate that I want to share with you is Cattleya Princess Clementine. And my memory is, and again, these are new plants, so I don't have a really good idea of what they're going to look like. I think this one, Clementine, you might expect, I think it has a little bit of orange in the flower. And again, I got a lot of those. There seemed to be an interest in again, these yellow to orange to maybe some red coloration in these flowers. So we've got duplicates also of this Princess Clementine. So one for the Orchid the Plant Propagator Junior, and one for the Plant Propagator. Okay, moving on a little bit more. This is the largest plant that we picked up, and this does not need to be repotted, and this is RLC Kaila Kobayashi, and this is an interesting cross. So this is Toshi Aoki times Dick Smith, and this is, you've got two flared Cattleyas that were crossed. This is going to be a flare. I'm not sure exactly the color that this is going to be. But I think I may even have a Toshi Aoki, the parent of this. I think I may have picked that up also. Big plant, and you can see good new growth coming out of this plant, nice roots. This is just a great specimen, so I'm happy with this. This is the biggest plant that we picked up there. Most of them, I tend to buy the smaller plants because they're easier to transport, but the other thing is I like growing them into larger plants. Okay, and this is, I was telling you that I had the parent of this, the Toshi Aoki, and Dick Smith was the one that I just showed you here, and this is Toshi Aoki. So this is the parent of this plant, and again, a really nice plant here with new growth, lots of new roots coming out on it, and this Toshi Aoki is used for a lot of Cattleya crosses, and in parts I think the flaring to the progeny. So I'm happy to have that because I don't have it, and I was familiar with it. Okay, this is a species. This plant right here is Laelia tenebrosa. And this, again, my memory, and I don't know these things that well, but this is a species that I think has some spots, and it's going to look bad if when I put it up on the screen and there's no spots, but I'm still learning as I go. But I think in this species, and again, in most of the species, you get the fragrance from the species. So that's what I'm going to be using this Laelia tenebrosa from. I've got a lot of Laelia pumulas behind me, and these are the seedlings that I have are from the ones that I generated. So this is a different Laelia species. So I'm excited to use this at some point in my crosses. This plant, and I'm kind of going, we're just kind of going through things here. This is a POT Chief Sweet Orange, sweet orange, and this, as you might imagine, is orange. And again, that seemed to be the emphasis and what they were looking for. So what I do is I listen to what people want. So if you have some suggestions for what you want to see on my channel, what you want to see me talk about, just put it in the comments and let me know. And when I go visit the growers, certainly the people that sell these things, they know what people are looking for. So if they tell me that people are interested in this type of flower color, fragrance, the number of flowers, when the plant blooms, I'm going to listen to what they want, because that's how you do it. I'm not one of those people that is stubborn, that just say, well, this is what I want to do, so I'm gonna do it. I listen to what other people are interested in. I mean, I like really most orchids, as long as there's big, colorful flowers and there's fragrance. I'm good with that. I'm not stuck on, oh, I hate yellows or whites or orange. I mean, if that's what people want, this is what I'm going to get. Again, so Chief Sweet Orange, this Cattleya right here. Again, this plant is in, this is probably going to have to be repotted. This plant is it's in really good shape. It's a really nice, nice specimen. Okay, moving on, and I'm sorry, I got a lot of them here because we went out and had fun. This is another species, and I'm looking at this, and the roots on this, here, I'll show you. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the roots on the top of this just look really good, and that's what I'm laughing at, because this is Cattleya forbesii, so another Cattleya species. This tends to be more of it. It has some really interesting flower shapes on here, but it tends to be a yellow to light yellow to fragrant flower. So I'm really interested, bifoliate Cattleya. I'm really interested. It's smaller. So I'm really interested to see what this is doing. I'm going to try to stay away from the huge Cattleyas, just because I don't have space for that. And this is just a nice Cattleya species that's small, that has the yellow color and the fragrance that apparently people are looking for in the hybrids. So again, that's what I'm going to go for, and that's what I'm going to listen to. Moving on here, this is a Cattleya schilleriana. And I don't remember, I should know these things. There's so many different schillerianas out there. I should know these things. This may be another spotted cat. I'm going to put the image up on the screen. Again, this is another one of these. It's a species, smaller plant, likely to be fragrant for me. So I'm just going to pick it up, and I'm going to learn all these over time. But right now I'm still learning, so I'm not sure exactly what we have here. Another one I want to show you, and it's kind of a big one, but this is not a Cattleya, but it's in the Cattleya Alliance. So this is Encyclia cordigera, and I think this has some again. So I got to show you. This is my encyclias that I have. So this is Encyclia tampensis right here. This is Encyclia cordigera, but again, look at that root system growing out of there. So it's got the bulbs on the tampensis are really small. Look how big these are. So a little bit of a bigger plant. I think the cordigera has some interesting colors in the flowers, has some fragrance, as a lot of the encyclias also do. I'm not sure of the spotting offhand. I don't remember, but I'll put this up on the screen so you can see what it looks like. But just a really vigorous plant that definitely needs to be repotted. Okay, so the last Cattleya that I want to show you is right here, and it's the only blooming one that I have. And the interesting thing, I'm not sure how this is going to work. The blooms look like they kind of went upside down on me. So this is the upside down blooms, and I'll turn it over as best as I can. But this is a Cattleya lueddemanniana, and this is a cerulean. And the cerulean and the other thing is it has a tag on it, and I'm going to try to turn these over, and hopefully I won't make a mess so you can see what the flower looks like. And the flowers are a little old, but they were open. All right, so these are Cattleya Ludomaniana, and these are Cerulean, which means that it has the kind of bluish, bluish purplish lip. And I wanted again use these, and this is fragrant. So as we are driving back, the flowers are getting old, but it's still fragrant. So this is another species, lighter petals, bluish, the cerulean coloration to it. And then I'm pretty excited. And it looks like this, I'm not sure if it's a second flower spike that came out on this, but apparently it's special. So Tristan, who was showing me around, he just kept on, I kept on looking at them all. I couldn't tell the difference between a lot of these that were blooming, but he just kept on coming back to this plant. So I'm going to trust the guys that have been around this, that know what they're looking for. So I think I got a special plant, even though I don't appreciate it right now. Anyway, so this is the Cerulean Cattleya ludomaniana. The last one that I want to show you is not a Cattleya, and it's right here. So this is a Dendrobium, and I was real hesitant on getting this Dendrobium until I was asked if I like antelope Dendrobiums, and that's a big yes. So this is a Dendrobium stratiotes, and this is the antlers on this antelope form are really long, curled. And I'm going to use this in some of the crosses. I really haven't gotten much into Dendrobium crosses. There are a lot of people that are out there that are way better at this than I am. But I have, some of my Dendrobium seedlings right here coming along. I don't even have a bloom on any of my Dendrobium seedlings yet. But these are only about 2.5 or 3 years old. So I'm hoping that I know how to grow them in the laboratory. I know how to get them big in the laboratory. And what I want to try to do is bring the antelope into some of the other Dendrobiums that I have. But, vigorous plants, for me, all the dens are all really vigorous, but this is just a really vigorous plant. Look at the root system here. This is going to clearly need to be repotted. It's just growing out of the pot. Interesting thing is I have the Dendrobiums that I've shown you before that are growing on the top shelf on my stand next to my shed, and I had some new flowers on one of the dens there, and I look up in the bougainvillea that's on top of the shed, and the color wasn't right, and it was one of my dens that has grown up, I don't know, 4 feet, 5 feet within, and the plant on the top of the shed, the bougainvillea, is supporting that cane as it's growing up through there. And there was another huge flower spike on the Dendrobium that was growing up through my bougainvillea at the top of my shed. So they grow well here. They grow well for me. This, as big as it is now, is going to keep on getting bigger, and I'll deal with it. I like the antelopes a lot. Maybe I'll be able to cross this with some smaller ones to get some smaller antelope dens. I don't know, but everything. These are all new. A lot of the stuff that I'm doing is new, and I'm curious to see how this stuff's going to work out. I've never let naivete stop me from trying new things. Gets you into trouble sometimes if you don't think it out. But when you move forward, a lot of times you do things that no one else would consider doing because it's stupid. And I do those things. And if I'm successful doing some of these things and generate something that's really interesting and useful and beautiful, I'm good with that. So I just wanted to share with you my new purchases from Palmer Orchids. I'm really excited to have all these things, and I can't wait to start repotting these things and adding them to my collection behind me. I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you want to continue to see my videos, it would help me out if you could click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, you can't see them down here, but there's a lot of them. I got a lot of work to do as I pot these things up today and tomorrow. At least there's a cloud up there in the sky, so it's starting to get a little shady, so it's not as hot as it was when I started. So that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy propagating.